Greetings, my friend. How are you doing this week? I hope you are very well. I hope you're living with strength and clarity and continuing to move beyond your fears. Last week's postures of life was was a gateway into living with more strength, more clarity, more integrity behind what we believe to be the way of life we should embrace, what feels best for us in the everyday, having the strength to embrace that, having the strength to live this way. I find having this strength, having this commitment in my life brings to me the most rewards, the most benefits, most happiness and joy, connectedness with those around me, the most opportunities for growth in my life, the most opportunities for living life in a sound, balanced way, a grounded way, a content way. So, this week I would like to bring you a continuation in that line of self practice, self work, self help. So, this week is moving to the next step, practicing with a certain burning zeal, a certain embrace of the activity of practice. This can be sometimes rather difficult, but through the regular practice, it becomes more and more natural as we do so. It sort of becomes wired into who we are and what we're about. And really, it's as simple as that. Maybe not so easy sometimes, but rather simple. We just practice again and again. And when we do stumble, when we do fall, we just do our best to get back up and to continue practicing. So, this week's posture of life, in comparison to this activity of burning zeal, of commitment, of a certain endurance for our beliefs, what we know to be true and right in our lives, to make us happy, to make us more at peace, more connected with others around us. This posture is a continuation of the last posture, Warrior 1 or Virabhadrasana 1. This is Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. So this posture is of course very similar to the last posture as far as technique goes. And I'll go ahead and go over the steps. And I always welcome you to join me. And I thank you so much for being here, for listening to me for this time, for giving this a chance in your life. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much you are helping just by bringing your presence to a situation that is intended to bring growth and happiness, not just within yourself, but in all others around you, all those you meet and touch in large and small ways. So for the technique, what we'll do, I'll first show my feet and what my legs are doing, and then I'll move the camera back up so you can see what my upper body is doing. So for what the feet are doing, like last week, it'll be pretty much the same. We'll take one foot forward towards the short edge of the mat, pointing in that direction. And then the other the other foot will come back a little bit. Not so much that we feel an off balance sense, but a nice expansion kind of in our hip area and our leg area. And then the front leg will bend at the knee. We'll try to maintain that the knee is above the ankle to protect that knee joint. And then we will turn that back foot either 90 degrees toward the long edge of the mat or slightly forward, about 45 degrees moving forward. And after we have that foot where it's at, we will just go ahead and try to move the heel of our front pointing foot to the arch of our back, kind of stabilizing foot almost. And then once we have done that, we'll take our hands to our hips. We'll try to guide the right hip back slightly and the left hip forward slightly. And then in Warrior One, what we would have done, and it's good, I guess, to go into Warrior One first because it's a nice transition. So we'll take an inhale, and as we do so, we'll raise our arms up above. In Warrior Two, what we'll do is just turn our torso in the direction our hips are opening. And then we'll allow that left and right arm to kind of come down over the matching leg and straighten those arms out about shoulder height so that they're parallel with the ground below. And then if comfortable for a neck, if we don't have any neck problems, we will gaze over that front middle finger of the right hand. So now to move the camera up slightly. Or more than slightly. So my legs are in the same stance as they were, similar. Everything changes a slight difference. And then we go ahead and we have our hips squared. We raise our hands, Warrior One, our arms, Warrior One, framing ourselves to that front direction. And then we turn out in the direction our hips are opening. And then arms come down and straight about shoulder height. And we direct the gaze over that front middle finger if we are comfortable doing so. And then after we are here for a time, I invite you to either mentally or aloud recite the affirmation, I live in strength and clarity, and continue moving beyond my fears. I live in strength and clarity, and I continue to move beyond my fears. I live in strength and clarity, and continue to move beyond my fears. When we're ready to do so, we'll relax the arms down to about the hips again. We'll go ahead, straighten that leg, that front leg, and then we'll simply switch directions so the right foot turns either that 90 degrees or 45 degrees, moving the other way. And the left foot will become the forward pointing foot, bending that knee, aligning the heel with the arch of the right foot, pushing our left hip back slightly this time, our right hip forward, breathing the arms up into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1, and then turning out into Warrior Two. Arms come down and gaze, if we are comfortable, if our neck is able to do so, is over that front middle finger. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I live in strength and clarity as I continue to move beyond my fears. I live in strength and clarity as I continue to move beyond my fears. I live in strength and clarity as I continue to move beyond my fears. Then relaxing the arms down when we are comfortable in doing so, straightening the leg, turning our feet. And then for this time, we'll just go ahead and bring our feet back together and turn back front. Optional, of course, but I would like to face the camera as I give our final greeting. So if you would like to press your hands together to bow your head, I invite you to say a word that means my inner light honors your inner light. That word would be namaste. Thank you so much for being here today, for practicing with me. Also, I think an enjoyable practice is as gratitude, as we share gratitude in our lives, for what's in our lives, for what helps us move through our lives in a healthy, happy way, for finding guidance and the activities that fulfill us. I like to show gratitude because gratitude is ultimately the feeling that brings us happiness. It is not the other way around as I've experienced. So I like to share gratitude for, first, my body, for carrying me through this practice today, for the ground for supporting me, as there would be so much that would be impossible if there wasn't a stable surface beneath for me to move upon. And then lastly, but maybe most importantly, the vital breath, the thing that connects us to all other living beings, to all other times, to all other peoples, civilizations, beyond, and so on and so forth. The vital breath is something which permeates us all, which connects us all. Sharing gratitude for this most essential element of our existence. Easy breath in, easy breath out. Thank you so much. My prayer and hope is that this practice helps to guide you into a better state of health and happiness, and that you're able to share this with others in large and small ways. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. And for those of you that would like a review of the postures that have come before, I will include this now in this little video segment of postures of life. Okay, so now let us begin. For those who are leaving us, thank you for being here once again, and we'll see you next time. So it's always nice to start out with a little breath work to help calm us down if we do find ourselves in a time and space where we can move into a sequence of yoga postures that helps us adopt a certain mindset for concentration and relaxation. So for this activity, sometimes called centering as well, I invite you to lightly close your eyes. If you do have a kitty cat and he likes or she likes to be on your lap, I invite you to welcome this blessed creature, to relax, to enjoy the moment, the experience, to begin to concentrate on the breath and the easy flow in and easy flow out, just with some observation, allowing all of your attention to be on the physical sensation of sitting, maybe petting your kitty, and just breathing in, Breathing in breaths at your own pace. However feels most comfortable for you to do so. Letting go of all thoughts, worries, and concerns. Just bringing your presence into the practice. Very good. When you're ready to do so, go ahead and open your eyes, and we'll go ahead and begin the rest of the sequence. So the first posture I always like to move into is Balasana, or Child's Pose. So in order to move into this pose, first, I like to project my arms forward like so, to allow them to come to the ground below, and to kind of move my knees out slightly, my toes touch behind me, and then I just stretch forward, trying not to interrupt Kitty, but I don't know, that probably won't happen. We'll see. And then I rest my forehead on the ground. And if your arms are uncomfortable like so, you can always bring them beside your body. Maybe concentrate on the breath. Here I invite you to embrace the affirmation, maybe if it feels appropriate. I rest in trust and patience. I rest in trust and patience. I rest in trust and patience. And when you're ready to do so, go ahead and move back up, pushing that torso up, and here we'll move up into an all fours position so that we're kind of propped up on our hands and on our knees in like a tabletop position manner. From here, we'll move into Vidalasana and Marjayasana, or cat and cow pose. So first for cow pose, what we'll do is we'll inhale and look forward. And then for cat pose, we'll exhale and look down. Inhaling, looking forward into cow, and then exhaling, looking downward into cat. And continue in that fashion as long as you feel like it, basically. Whatever feels good for you. So for the next posture, Parsva Balasana, or side child's pose, threading the needle, it's sometimes referred to as, we will take the right hand up like so and reach it under the torso, moving to the left, and we will go ahead and rest our head on the ground, looking in that left direction. Easy breath in, easy breath out. When you're ready to do so, we will move back up to that all fours position, and then we will take the other hand and we will guide it under our torso, moving to the right, and we will rest our left ear, side of the head on the ground. Easy breath in, easy breath out. And when we are ready to do so, go ahead, move back up to that all fours position. From here, we'll find a seat on our bottom. And once we do so, we will allow the legs to straighten out before us. So once this has occurred, we'll move into some twists and some folds. So we'll go ahead and bend that left leg, bring the sole into the inner right thigh, breathing the arms up like so. And then as we exhale, we'll twist to the left and allow the arms to come down. Right hand on left knee, left arm behind us. Here I offer the affirmation, I leave my past behind me. I leave my past behind me. I leave my past behind me. And when we're ready to do so, untwisting and coming back forward, From here, we will move into a forward fold or past. Wait, no, this is John Yu Sirsasana. The next one will be past Motanasana, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's go ahead and move into the present with past Chi Motanasana. So our John Yu Sirsasana. Still getting ahead. Sometimes life is like that. So breathing the arms up like we had, and then exhaling, folding forward over that straightened leg, and coming down to whatever degree is comfortable for us to do so. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I move into the present. I move into the present. I move into the present. Very good. And when you're ready, come up to that nice straighten back and straighten the other leg out and bend that right leg and bring that one in. And from here, we'll move into that twist. So breathing the arms up, exhaling and twisting to our right. The left hand on right knee and right arm behind us. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I leave the past behind me. I leave the past behind me. I leave the past behind me. Very good. When you're ready to do so, untwist and come back forward. We'll go ahead and breathe those arms up. And as we exhale, we'll fold forward onto that outstretched leg, moving forward to our own degree. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I move into the present. I move into the present. I move into the present. Very good. When we're ready to do so, we'll come up to the nice straight back once again. This time we will straighten both legs out before us. And yes, we'll move into Paschimottanasana or full forward fold. So go ahead and breathe those arms up. And as you exhale, folding forward to your own degree, moving into the present with patience. I move into the present with patience. I move into the present with patience. Very good. When you're ready to do so, rising up to a nice straightened back. And from here, we'll move into Konasana or Badha Konasana, depending on how you say it. But if you say it in English, we could just interpret it to butterfly pose. Okay? So firstly, what we'll do is we'll bend both legs and we'll bring the soles of the feet touching near the groin area. We might kind of grasp our hands on those toes. I think that's where the bad ha comes in because it's like a restraint of some sort. I believe that's what bad ha means. So once we are here, we can go ahead and, if we want to deepen the pose, we can push our bottom forward just a bit. And we can try to roll our hips open, kind of almost like guiding our legs down a little bit more open, our hips opening a little bit more. In this pose, I always like to remind people that we sit in tight, restrictive spaces, and that can lead to different complications like lower back pain and loss of kind of like certain mobility when we're walking around on physical terrain throughout the day. So to avoid injuries and different physical pains, this pose can be a good idea to embrace, maybe daily, just for a little while, or whenever you're able to do so. Here I offer the affirmation. My soul is as gentle as a butterfly. My soul is as gentle as a butterfly. My soul is as gentle as a butterfly. Very good. And when you are ready to do so, we will move into the standing postures, and I will go ahead and introduce them right now, just briefly, as we've kind of already gone over them. So bringing the legs together, I like to come up nice and easy to prevent lightheadedness. So I push myself up from behind, and I allow the bottom to come up first, and then I allow the head to raise, like so. Taking a nice breath in and out, kind of adjusting my mental space to this new orientation. Also my physical space, as it's all connected. So the first thing I do here, I'll let you go ahead and keep watching my feet for this. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I like to check my balance before I embark in any other standing postures. So I like to rock back and forth on my feet, heel to toe, heel to toe. It could be energetic at first. I could come up as far as feels comfortable. And then I like to slow down and gradually come back to stillness, allowing my kind of weight to settle in a balanced area of the feet between the heels and the toes, kind of on that arch, on those, at that arch area. Of course, those arches are kind of slightly raised a little bit, which may be why it brings me a little more comfort when I walk in my daily life and I have a balanced, kind of a balanced area on my feet. Not too much weight on either those heels or those toes. Kind of finding the the point of where my arches are to support most of my weight. And then the heels and the toes are allowed to just be that support rather than the focal point, because before I would notice I get a lot of heel pain, a lot of toe pain. So possibly checking balance with your feet could alleviate some of your feet pain. I don't know. It's just a matter of you experimenting and seeing what works best for you. Okay, so the standing postures, we'll go ahead and close out with those once again, kind of coming full circle. The first one, Warrior One, or Virabhadrasana 1. We'll go ahead and let's see. You've seen my feet as I've moved into this previously, so I'll just go ahead and verbally describe it. Firstly, we'll reach our right foot forward, pointing toward the short edge of the mat, and then the left foot and leg will reach backwards slightly, just giving us a comfortable expanse, not so much so that we feel overworked and unbalanced. And then we'll line the heel of the right foot up with the arch of the left foot. The left foot will either be 90 degrees toward the long edge of the mat or 45 degrees moving forward. We'll bend the front knee, the right knee, kind of trying to ensure that that knee is directly over the ankle to safeguard that joint. Place the hands on the hips, move the right hip back slightly, and left hip forward slightly. And then we'll breathe the arms up, framing the head into full Warrior One, position. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I find strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. I find strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. I find strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. Then turning out into warrior two, the arms come straight before and behind us. And if we're comfortable in doing so, we gaze over that front middle finger. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I live in strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. Something we can also do here is turn the palms up and turn them down to help expand the chest and have a fuller breath here. I live in strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. Very good. And lowering those hands to the hips when we are ready. Maybe now we transition to the other side. So the right foot points to the long edge, or 45, moving in the opposite direction. And then the left foot now points forward. Left knee is bent directly over the ankle. Try to line the arch of the right foot up with the heel of the left foot to help with balance. Then we push the left hip back slightly, right hip forward slightly, breathing the arms up to frame the head. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I find strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. I find strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. I find strength and clarity as I move beyond my fears. And then when we're ready to do so, we can turn out into warrior two, the direction our hips are opening. Left arm, right arm, come down straight, about shoulder level, pointing away from the body. And we gaze over that front middle finger of the left hand, if available for us to do so. Easy breath in, easy breath out. I live in strength and clarity as I continue to move beyond my fears. I live in strength and clarity as I continue to move beyond my fears. Very good. Lowering the hands to the hips when we are ready to do so. Straightening the leg out. And for this practice, returning to a standing posture. Pressing our hands together, bowing our head. I invite you to say Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Thank you. Thank you for your presence here. It is such a blessing in so many ways. Thank you for being wonderful you. May you have a wonderful day. And I hope and I pray that this practice has enriched you in some great or small way. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you next week, I hope, my friend. Until then, God bless you. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.